Vice Chair Kivett.
Could I have your attention? Would everybody please stand? Today is a very important day in history, and I'm going to read something that I read this morning that really touched me. It's D-Day, the 6th of June, 1944. So upon the 6th of June, remember them with pride, men from many nations fighting together side by side. Let us never forget their bravery and sacrifice. We may have our freedom, but they paid the price. I'd like to have a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Now let's say the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
I didn't test. At this time, I move that we will approve the agenda with the exception, we're going to remove item I from the consent agenda. And we'll table that for another time. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Shows being unanimous. Okay, Mr. Lynn Reynolds is going to come and give us an update on the water system.
Okay, on page 2 of your package, we got current projects. Johnston County Phase 2, it's pretty much done. They've got 1 volt to set, and they're supposed to do that this week. We're installing taps on that road. We got North Carolina 403 manganese iron treatment. It's 20% complete. In Viva well treatment, 95%. We got some backlog of parts. Clement expansion, we got that one going. The surveying is complete on that one. Spivey's Corner and Roseboro tanks, they're surveying those now. South Eldridge Road is complete, and we're installing taps. And we got 2 new wells that they're performing a study on to identify where the best place to put 2 new wells. Grant applications, we have applied for Ivanhoe and Golden Garland back in April. We should know the results in September. Same with Viva well and treatment and Johnston County Phase 2 grants. Should have results in September as well. We're planning on applying for a grant for Andrews Chapel and Old Mints Road in September. That included Claude's Drag and Fleet Cooper. We've got another grant we've applied for. It's a direct line appropriation grant from Congress for $1 million. We should be hearing something from it any time now. We've had 2 community outreach meetings on the marketing plan. In Ivanhoe, we had approximately 50 residents. In Mintz, we had about 30. In Lakewood School Road, we had 19 people show up. We installed hangars. We had newspaper ads in the local newspaper. We used social media and the county website on these first series of roads. They were Lakewood School Road, Bubba Gump, and NC 242 and Serenity Lake. As of today, on those 4 roads, we've had 1 person to apply and pay the fee. On June the 1st, we extended the campaign of marketing on Welcome School Road, Elbow Road, Auctioneer, Keenan Weeks, Goshen Church Road. And that is a misprint. It should have been Suttontown Road. It stopped at Goshen Church. Jernigan Loop and Elwell. We did the same procedure. We installed hangars. We took pictures of the hangar and the mailboxes, and we've got that in a folder. We've also used newspaper ads, social media, and the county website as well. And we have not had any response from those roads yet. So that's the latest and greatest update. Anybody got any questions?
I've got a question, just for curiosity. Do we have a fund balance that we try to maintain to work with, or like a rainy day fund?
We've got a fund balance, yes, sir.
And what is that at? What's it set at?
It's close to 3 million, I think, now,
For both water districts, yes.
for both water districts. And it needs to be quite a bit larger. We've used some of that money in the past for emergencies and some real minor road extensions, but with borers costing anywhere from $60,000 to $250,000, it doesn't take long to use up our reserves.
Yeah.
So
are we required to have a certain amount, or? it's
there's
just-
not a minimum requirement, but I would like to target 5 million as a goal right, you know, that's just a target. We could do that.
That sounds good. Just for a refresher of memory, to run a trunk line, what does it cost per mile to run a trunk line for water?
Depends on what size of line it is, but minimum is $250,000
A mile?
a mile. That would be on the low side. And then you got to pay engineering fees. So it could run up 300, 350
That's a lot of money.
for 1 mile. It takes a long time to get, you got to have a lot of customers for it to pay for itself. I mean,
And this is not done with taxpayer money?
no taxpayer money.
None at all?
County does not contribute, the county does not contribute any money to the water system.
$0?
$0.
Okay.
Mr. Kevin, I would offer you that, from my experience with a system that is pretty much built out or substantially covered in a great part of a county such as ours, I would want to have a fund balance that I could routinely replace $1 million well or a half million gallon tank without feeling like I had been impoverishing my fund balance.
So how can we achieve that goal?
Keep saving money and adjusting the rates occasionally to ensure that happens. And use the same fundamental guidance that Mr. Reynolds and his staff are doing in trying to establish good, sound criteria for expanding the system so that you don't create exorbitant cost or situations where you really can't afford to provide water because of the changeover of water needed to sustain it.
If we don't do that, it can basically cave in on itself.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay,
Question.
thank you.
Mr. Reynolds, I
Yes,
have a
sir.
question.
Yes.
The roads that you named, do they get a deadline for the hangers that you hung on their box?
60 days.
Day?
Yes, ma'am, it's in your handout. August the 1st, the last series of roads, and the first four that we discussed earlier, Lakewood School Road and Bubba Gump and Serenity Lake, July the 5th is the ending date.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, at this time, we'll move on to planning and zoning issues of Mr. Cashwell, if you'll come forward.
Good evening.
Good evening.
First issue up, the public hearing request rezoning the 2.5 acre parcel, tax parcel number 14084504309 on the Plainview Highway from residential to agricultural to conditional commercial. The planning board has recommended approval of the request to rezone 2.5 acre surveyed portion of a 5.56 acre parcel from residential agricultural to conditional commercial. The zoning district for the proposed establishing a primary care medical facility. The county, Sampson County Planning Board found the proposed rezoning to be consistent with the residential growth and land use category and to positively align with the main purpose and intent of such destination. The planning board found that the condition rezoning request is reasonable and in the best interest of the public.
Do you have any questions? Mr. Heinzman would like to speak on this issue.
Thank you for considering our request on behalf of the hospital. We're looking at putting a physician practice up in Spivey's Corner to further provide healthcare outside of just the boundaries within the city of Clinton, and hope this will be fast so that we can, we already have a doctor selected and hired on board, ready to go. So we appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience that has a comment? Public hearing's closed. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to be closed.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Another public hearing.
Our second item is up for rezoning as a 2-acre parcel, tax parcel number 10115755501 Grimes Road. And it's currently zoned as commercial, and they want to rezone it to residential commercial. The planning board has recommended the approval of the request of the 2-acre parcels from commercial to residential agricultural zoning district. The Sampson County Planning Board found that the proposed rezoning to be consistent with the rural residential agricultural land use category and is positively aligned with the main purpose and intent of such designation. The planning board found that the rezoning request is reasonable and in the best interest of the public.
Any questions from the board? Mr. Heinzman has signed up again to speak. Okay, he has declined. Anyone else have a comment on this? If not, we'll close the public hearing. Do I have a motion?
Move we approve the request adopting the consistency statement.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Cashwell. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to convene another public hearing regarding the proposed budget for fiscal year 2022 and 2023. And we'll open the floor for public comment. We have Ms. Barbara Faison signed up to speak, if you'll come forward.
Do you want this timed? You want it timed? You want it timed?
If you will, state your name and address.
Barbara Faison, I live here in the city limits of Clinton, 524 Fayetteville Street.
Be glad to have you.
Thanks for allowing me to speak for the 2022-23 budget. Public comments. Didn't know I was going to be first, but that's fine too. As a retired county employee for over 30 years, I know the challenges that the budget causes each year. I understand about the mandates each county must provide for its citizens each year. The proposed property tax rate, the tax rate that we currently have is 82.5. The proposed tax rate increase is 87.5. I have a problem with it being addressed for only property owners. We have people who come here, who live here, who don't pay any property taxes and stay here and never pay any property taxes. There are people who come through and visit. There are people who come here to see other people. There are people who are in jail that don't pay anything, and we pay for them too. And I personally feel that we need to pay for services whether we have property or not. I am proposing that the 5 cents be added as sales tax so that all services enjoyed by everyone who lives in this county will be shared by everyone. That way, it will not be a burden on just senior citizens who are property owners who pay the majority of this. As we said in the opening with the Pledge of Allegiance, one nation under God with liberty and justice for all, then it should be that we all pay for this. Thank you from the bottom of my pocketbook And thank you sincerely for allowing me this time.
You did a great job, Ms. Faison. First or not, you did great. Ms. Carla Peterson?
My name is Carla Peterson, 3467 Taylor's Bridge Highway, Clinton, North Carolina. Thank you for allowing me to address the proposed budget. I am here to ask that you do not raise property taxes. 26 counties across North Carolina, including Sampson, revalued in 2019. Based on their current year, fiscal year rates, only 3 of those have a higher property tax rate than Sampson County. I encourage you to look for other ways to balance the budget. Increase revenues. Look at your current schedule of fees and fines, your current one. Look at where you can put new ones in, and then look at your assets. Do you have any assets that can be sold? And quite frankly, I recommend selling the Expo Center. To decrease expenditures, you're going to have to cut the budget. My own recommendation is to eliminate longevity pay for employees and dental insurance, if you do pay it, paid by the county on behalf of employees. And finally, I also recommend that any market or pay study be postponed indefinitely. The county manager stated in the proposed budget, and I quote, "We continue to be concerned about continued inept federal government fiscal policies." I'm not sure where he's coming from on that one. And he also stated, "If the board chooses to redefine government by reducing services, it will be challenging." I agree wholeheartedly. I personally believe it would be beneficial for the county manager to expound on these statements. As he pointed out, Sampson County has lost population. Given this fact, along with the uncertain state of our economy, plus our already high property tax rate, I believe what we need is a willingness to be creative. We do value our county employees. They probably know all too well that overall, we are not a wealthy county. Median household income hovers around $42,000. That's household income, with 2.68 people per household. We should make no assumption that government programs must stand as they are or how they've been in the past. Everyone in the county absolutely must be flexible. Raising the property tax now, in my opinion, is not a good idea. Thank you again for giving me this opportunity to speak.
Thank you so much for your comments. Thank you for coming. Is there anybody else in the audience that would like to speak? No one's signed up, but I will entertain if anyone would like to make a comment. If not, we'll close the public hearing. Okay. Open a public hearing with comments on economic development expenditures in the proposed budget. We do not have anyone signed up to speak, but is there anyone that would like to speak? No, close the public hearing. At this time, I'll turn the meeting over to Vice Chair Kivett for his appointment.
You got,
Is that all they got? I'm sorry. I missed one. Open a public hearing for Mr. Rick Sauer. I am so sorry, I almost forgot you.
Good evening. Back in the spring, we had a request from Sampson Regional Medical Center to put an additional ambulance on for the EMS franchise. When we started looking at that ordinance, we realized it was outdated a little bit. There was some outdated terminology, and many of the people serving on that committee had moved on. So we formed a small committee of myself, County Attorney Joel Starling, Ms. Susan Holder, and Eric Herring, and we updated the ordinance with the changes in some terminology. We also checked with our insurance company and reviewed things with them. So what you have in front of you is what we recommend the changes to be, and then also the appointment of the new members. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
I'll close the public hearing, and I'll move that we adopt the recommended changes to the ordinance regulating EMS service and granting of franchises for convalescent transport service and appoint the franchise committee as outlined in the ordinance.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sauer.
My turn.
You're on.
Okay, we have several appointments to several boards. The Hospital Board of Trustees, they had a member to pass away, Enrico Coelho, and I move that we appoint Telfair Sampson to fill that vacancy. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? All right, that's passed. All right, the Southeastern Economic Development Commission, we have another vacancy there when Carrie Taylor passed away, and I recommend that we put Hugh Carr. Is there a second?
Second.
Got a second? All in favor? Okay. The next thing is Advisory Board for Older Adult Services. I move that we put Patrice Parker on that for a 2-year term.
Second.
Second. All in favor? Okay, that's passed. All right, the Juvenile Crime Prevention Council has put up Kirsten Powell to replace Angela Nicholson on that council. I move that we put her there. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? All right, the CVB Board, I move that we put Clark Honeycutt to fulfill the remainder of Matthew Register's term ending in June of 2025. All in favor?
Second.
Would I need a second first?
Second.
All right, all in favor? All right. Also move that we put Mr. Joel Rose, the second term ending June of 25 as well. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? That's passed. Also, now at this time, I move that we appoint Mr. Rose as the chairperson of the CVB Board. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? All right, now one last one, I move that we reappoint Ms. Kay Rayner for reappointment for the City of Clinton's appointed seat. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? That ends mine. Turn it back over.
Thank you. Next, we look at the consent agenda. I move that we accept that as amended. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? I think that brings us all the way down to the county manager's report.
And I have no report for you.
Well, that is awesome.
I second.
Okay, now we're gonna have another public comment period. At this time, would Mr. Edward Gillum come up, please?
Good evening. My name is Edward Gillum. I live at 817 West 2nd Street, Garland, North Carolina. I want to start by saying thank you to all of you who've done to make this dream a reality, bringing water to the Ivanhoe area and surrounding areas as well. I feel we've made great strides in attempting to secure current infrastructure grant opportunities and utilizing this with the advancement of Sampson County water system. I would like to recognize Mr. Reynolds for his hard work and dedication. I also want to address the importance of communicating with communities on what the status, meeting dates, and other important information. I received an email in regards to the Lakewood project, which inspired me to research current water projects and information for Sampson County. I Googled it and found the www.sampsonnc.com website, gave me additional information regarding water projects and locations, including a link with an application for water information, which was actually the email addressed about where to find the application at. But we need, I think we still need a county water board, which includes several different representatives from each part of the underserved counties for communication and updates. I feel the community water board could assist and help each other. I research every day, and it's just part of my DNA, but everyone does not have the capabilities or resources to do so. I feel disabled, disadvantaged people should be advised and educated on important matters such as the Public Water Project. A committee could get information out there where to find applications, status of grants, assist in customer recruitment, and direct locations in the county. Let's just go and continue this path of progression and communication and unification to do this. Like I said, I was just thinking about one person signing up in Lakewood. You know, maybe if we get a little bit more, and I'm not saying what we have right now is not good, but a little bit more direct information out to the people and whatnot, I think that we get a whole lot more people that sign up and everything. And we have people throughout the county that's actually willing to do that and help out and assist in that. Okay, that's it. Y'all have a great evening, and God bless.
For your comments. Mr. J. Ingram.
Good evening, everyone.
evening.
My name is Jay Ingram, and I live at 2254 Ole Miss Highway. I'm the president of the Highsmith Side Community Watch. I have two issues, and first of all, I just want to thank Commissioner Lee. We have come together and we have talked about the water situation in our area and throughout the county, actually all over the world. I feel as though that everyone, the two things that everyone in this world needs to have, that's clean water and clean air. Those two things. Now, we all can put different things in our body that will affect us. Like for many years, I was a smoker. I'm paying the price for that today. But that was something that I chose to do. But as we grow older and older with our young children and all, we all deserve to have clean water, clean air. The problem I have with clean air is about a mile down the road from me, Smithfield just bought 2 hog farms. Flies, we cannot even open our door. They're rushing in. You know, the smell, for many days I went outside and I'm like, what is that smell? And I would admit, I have a few chickens, and I went out, cleaned my pen out, figuring because I didn't want nothing to affect nobody else in my community. But then the next day, I had that same smell again, and the next day, the same smell again. Then I realized where it was coming from, and that's not cool. That's not cool, y'all. That's all I want to say. Let us all work together. Thank y'all for what you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you for coming, Mr. Ingram. Ms. Elaine Hunt.
Good evening. My name is Elaine Faison Hunt. I live at 7171 Old Warsaw Road, Turkey, North Carolina, and I'm back again. And there's nothing new under the sun, and there's nothing new that I desire at this time. My story is the same as last month. I, my neighbors, and my family would like to have county water. I presented a petition to you during the May meeting. I have had correspondence with your staff since the May meeting, but no positive response. After talking to your staff, and I thank Mr. Reynolds for the communication, I felt as if I was in college again, a scoring system. We don't measure up to your scoring system. I truly apologize that the people are not rushing to move on Old Warsaw Road. And I apologize that where we currently reside is not qualified for county water, so I'm told. And I know this is not a question and answer session, but I do have questions for you. Who created this scoring system? Is it the same for my area as well as other areas? Can the public have access to this scoring system? And how much iron are households expected to consume before this situation becomes important enough to you to not be gauged by your scoring system? You said that this section of road will not qualify for a water extension using your current scoring system. Changes and amendments are made every day. I know you all do it. I've seen other locales do it. And I'm a firm believer that people do what they want to do. And where there's a will, there surely is a way. You are saying we need a minimum of 56 potential customers. I live in Turkey. Do you know the population? Turkey is a small town. 56 potential customers. Your scoring system is not economically feasible, nor in my mind is it sensible. Walking in the morning, I noticed markings on the road, natural gas company with the desire installing gas lines in our neighborhood. Star has come out and installed faster equipment for internet, and I thank God for both of them. But what would be more grateful and appreciative to us is Sampson County water staff coming in our area to provide county water to me, my family, my neighbors. Thank you for allowing me to voice my concerns and my desire. Last month, I didn't have 5 bottles of water to share with you all. I brought 5 tonight if you all want to share my water. I see you drinking water. See what we have to put up with.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you once again.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak that has not signed up? If not, this will conclude our public comment period. and
Madam
I-
Chairperson, I think we had one submitted in,
Okay, we
in
have
writing.
one that we received email. Ms.
Right.
Holder, would you read that for us?
I will, I'll read it into the record. It's from Lacey and Ruby Bell of 2812 East Darden Road. The water petition for this section of East Darden Road has been evaluated by Lynn Reynolds, and the section qualifies for a water extension based on the scoring with these factors considered: available funding, if permits can be obtained, and approval by the Water Board. We are asking the county to, 1, provide countywide water for East Darden Road extension and other underserved communities in Sampson County. 2, honor the initial tap-on fee reduction for those who paid during the initial tap-on since those funds were not refunded. 3, since fees are scheduled to increase in July, we are asking, that the county grandfather in all those who signed the Sampson County Public Works petition for water on or before July 1st, 2022, at the lowest tap-on fees of 3/4-inch tap, $500, and 1-inch tap for $600. Thank you so much for your cooperation and support.
You were sharing that, and I'm sorry I overlooked that.
Oh, that's okay.
I move that we recess to reconvene on June 9th at 10 o'clock in Administrative Building. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?